So I bet you've walked into a high-end bakery, or maybe it was a high tea where you had the most delicious pastry and you wished that you had the skills to recreate that at home. Well, today I'm going to show you, using guided cooking on our TM7, just how easy it is to do that. We are going to be making Craquelin Choux Puffs with a raspberry filling and a white chocolate cream. Not only are you going to impress your family and friends, but you're going to impress yourself. Let's get started. This recipe is an entertainer's dream. There are so many of the components that you can prepare ahead. Let me show you. This is how your recipe will look on your beautiful TM7 screen. There's a photograph and another beautiful close-in picture, and you can even watch a video. Now I'm going to show you what the recipe would look like on your screen. If you scrolled up, you can see what ingredients you need, and then also the preparation steps. So we have prepared the base of our white chocolate cream, and we've left it in the fridge overnight. You really want this to be chilled when you whip it for the filling for your choux buns. We have also made our raspberry jam. Now all of these were just one step in the bowl, and they're ready to go into the fridge for a couple of days or overnight. We have also pre-prepared our craquelin, which is in the freezer, and we'll show you that a little later. Now I'm going to show you how we can skip to the choux pastry element of this dish, which I'm going to show you how to make today. So we just push start. Now we're simply going to scroll up until we find the step that we need. And now we're going to click on our three little drops and set it as our current step. Okay, so let's get started on our choux pastry. You'll see our little icon on the screen here. It's our digital twin. So it's telling us what to do, which is remove the lid from our mixing bowl. Okay, and our little scale has popped up there, and we're going to weigh in our water 250 grams. And when you're baking, you should be accurate with your measurements. So don't rush too much, take your time. So the machine has ticked off for us that we've added our water. Now we're going to add our butter, which we've cut into pieces. And we're going to add a little bit of white sugar because it is a sweet pastry after all. And we'll add a pinch of sea salt. Okay, you can see that we've added our ingredients. I can tick them off manually as well if I like that we've added them all. And now we're simply going to push next. It's going to tell us to put our lid back on, and we're going to push start. And now we are just going to cook our ingredients for a few minutes. One of the things I love about the TM7 is how quiet it is. You can hardly hear it working at all. Another feature that I love is that you can scroll up and see what is coming next in your recipe. And if you've gone down and you're done, you can simply tap back to current step and it'll take you to where your recipe is at the moment. And that little catchy tune signifies that that step of our recipe is finished. Okay, it's telling us to remove our lid. It's gone back to our scales, and we're going to add our flour straight into the bowl. Next, it's telling us to replace our lid, and we're going to mix it all up for just a few seconds. Done. Okay. Wow, look at that beautiful choux pastry, almost done. But as you can see, it's really quite steaming now, and if we had to add our eggs to that, it would just cook it and make scrambled eggs. So we're going to cool this right down. You can keep it in the bowl and stir it to keep it moving for that steam to escape and cool down, and then we're going to add our eggs. So our choux pastry has cooled. We're preheating our oven to 200 degrees, and now we're going to add our eggs. We're going to add our eggs all at once. I know, after a lifetime of experience of cooking choux pastry, adding your eggs one by one, we're just going to put them all in, and we've tested this and the result is amazing every time. So these are our 4 eggs. They're going straight into the bowl. Now, you know, when you're cooking, you can be distracted. Sometimes you've got some little person or something around you. What I really love about this is that you can tick it manually, and just to know that your eggs have actually gone in there. So your recipe is even more no fail. We're going to go next. Okay, it's telling us to put our lid on, and we're going to beat that up for about 3 minutes to give us the perfect piping consistency. Okay, so our choux is ready, and now we're going to transfer it to our piping bag. You'll see how amazing is it that on our lovely screen that you'll be able to push a video and you'll be able to see, if you don't know, a tip or trick on how to fill your piping bag without making any mess. So now that you've watched a video on how to fill your piping bag, we are going to pipe 16 balls. We have lined our tray. You can line it with baking paper. We have our silicone baking mat. And again, just like the pages of a magazine, you can see the pictures of what you need to do. So these make a generous 16 size bun. The great thing is that these will actually freeze. So if you only need a few, you can freeze half if you like. So I find if I position myself over and you pipe pushing evenly, and then lifting up. You can draw little circles of 5 centimeter width if you want, because that's what we want, 5 centimeter by at least 3 centimeter high. Okay, we're at our next step, which is our craquelin. So this is also everything in the bowl for just a few seconds. It's a really soft mixture. So we put it between 2 pieces of baking paper and we smoothed it out and we gave it just a little bit of a roll with the rolling pin. And there you have it. And you put it in the freezer. It needs to be really firm. And then you use a 6 centimeter cookie cutter to push out your discs to go on top. Now, if it's a really hot day, or if you can't, if you're not working quite fast enough, you can return it to the freezer if it's melting. Don't worry if it cracks a little bit. It all works out in the oven. And then you simply put your little disc on top of your choux pastry. Don't push down too hard. It's just going to sit on top of it. And then it's going to melt down and cook over to give us that beautiful crispy top, another texture to your choux pastry. We just do that. You can even push the offcuts together if 1 or 2 of them crack. So now we put our craquelin onto top of our choux buns. They are ready to go into the oven. It's a really hot oven, 200 degrees for about 30 minutes, but that's what's going to allow that steam to create inside our bun and give us that beautiful puff that we know that is a choux bun. And voila, a beautiful choux bun puffs with their lovely craquelin topping. When they came out of the oven, I made a little hole in the bottom of them, so that allows the steam to escape so that they don't go all soft and soggy. But these are great. You can make them and bake them, and if they're a little bit soft the next day, or if you've made them the day before, the next day you can just pop them into a hot oven for a few minutes and they'll crisp up again. Now we're going to fill them with our yummy cream filling. Now we're going to use our butterfly whisk to whip up our cream and chocolate mixture. We're just going to insert it into our bowl on top of the blade. We're going to add our, let's go next. Okay, we're going to place our mascarpone cheese into the bowl. Okay, we can tick it off if we like. And then we're going to add some vanilla bean paste, 1 teaspoon of that. And then we're going to take that off. We're going to go next. We're going to add that beautiful chilled chocolate cream that we spoke about earlier. Just 1 step in your Thermomix right in the beginning that you could have made the day before or early on in the morning. Adding that. And we are going to now, it's telling us to put our mixing bowl lid back on. And we're going to whip. So now a good tip is actually to pay attention to the sound that your Thermomix makes when you start whipping. And when you've practiced enough, you'll be able to hear when it changes and you can tell when your cream is whipped. Otherwise, because we have a bowl that opens so easily, we can just remove the lid every now and again and we can open it up to see if we think that it's firm enough to whip. Nope, it needs some more. So we'll just start it again until we have a consistency that's easy enough and thick enough to hold its shape when piped. Are you ready for it? Just look how delicious that looks and how beautifully whipped it is. Now we're going to transfer it to a piping bag and the time has come to fill our choux buns. So now my cream mixture is in my piping bag and it's time to assemble. Just take one of your buns and as you can see again by the lovely picture on your screen, we're just going to cut ourselves a little cap. Now be sure to keep the cap that matches your choux bun. And if you have any of this eggy mixture inside, you can just remove it or flatten it down. So here we have our fresh raspberry jam with just raspberries and sugar that we cooked up. Again, you can sieve the seeds out of it if you're not a fan of raspberry seeds. And again, of course, you can use any jam you'd like. So be generous. We're just going to spoon a nice quantity, about a heaped teaspoon. Okay, then we're going to take our cream mixture. I'm just going to go next here. We can see again on our beautiful picture that we've got, and now we're going to pipe it in. So it's just a step by step. It's like, you can do it very easily. Okay, now be generous. I've got a plain nozzle here, but you could use a star nozzle or any nozzle that you liked. Give them a nice generous topping of cream. Then we're going to top it with our little caps, like our little hats. Don't push them down. You want to see the cream peeping out from underneath it. Get yourself a baking plate or something pretty. We're just going to follow our recipe right through to the end, and we're going to finish it off with just a very chefy dust of icing sugar. And don't they look just like the picture? You see, I told you you could do it just like a master chef, following the guided cooking on the Thermomix. So if you're inspired, head on to Cookidoo for more chef quality recipes.